smartphone. Let us say praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who give thousands of favors to us, so on this day we can implement even with festive ties, full of a strong sense of community and set gratitude to Allah as Lord of house is we worship a step from a small servant. Salawat as well as greetings. Let's say thanks to our Prophet Muhammad. Many gives us a minimum modal wealth, and we should emulate. On behalf of the Pharmacist Professional Study Program, University of Muhammadiyah Malang, I welcome you all. Honorable Presenter and Moderator, Mr. Paul, Ariel, and Mrs. Apotheker Nelly Siva MSG, the Dean and all the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Health Science of University of Muhammadiyah Malang, Pharmacy lecturers, students of Apothecary Program Batch 5 and 6, pharmacist candidates, and undergraduate students of pharmacy, and thank you very much for your participation in this meeting. This event aims to provide an overview insight into how practitioners abroad, especially industries and hospitals in Taiwan, carry out their practical activities there. Today, the international online class will be moderated by our own lecturer, Mrs. Naili Siva, that now she is doing a PhD program at Taipei Medical University, Taiwan. Mrs. Nailis graduated from the undergraduate pharmacy program at State University of Jember, apothecary program and master's program at University of Gadjah Mada, and now she is a PhD candidate of Taipei Medical University. In addition, later at the end of the activity, Mrs. Nailis will share or tell how the experience of study there. Thus, our students can be motivated for further study. So that I can pass on and Mrs. Nailis can take over this meeting until the final session and discussion. As a representative of the Pharmacist Professional Study Program, University of Muhammadiyah Malang express its gratitude to the presenters, moderators, and committee so that this event could be held accordingly. And thanks to the invitation that please present and apologize for perfect and imperfection. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bu Nelis,
Okay.
time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Ika. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome all to the online class today. First of all, I would like to thanks to President of University of Muhammadiyah Malang, and also Dean of Health Science Faculty, University of Muhammadiyah Malang, and Director of Pharmacy Department, University of Muhammadiyah Malang. Thanks for the opportunity to this online class. And also, I would like to thanks to our speakers today, Ms. Ariel and Mr. Paul. Thanks for the time. And all of the participants, the student and the teacher, thanks to joining this online class. Well, today online class is talking about the pharmacist practice opportunities in Taiwan and its challenges amid global pandemic. We have two professional speakers today, Ms. Ariel and Mr. Paul. So it will be a big opportunities for the students can hear the pharmacist practice, pharmacist experience from the professional. And from this lecture, we hope the student will have, you all will have the different view, different insight about the pharmacy practice around the world, especially in Taiwan. Okay, before we are going to the next session, maybe just wanted to tell you all, a little bit story As Ms. Ika said in the beginning, that currently I'm a student in Taipei Medical University. I'm taking the PhD degree here, and I got the scholarship from the government. It was a valuable experience to becoming a PhD student in Taiwan because I can get more knowledge about the pharmacy practice here and learn new methods in the pharmacy research. And I'm sure that all of you, the student in University of Muhammadiyah Malang, you can have a chance to continue your study after your apothecary degree. So be optimistic about your future. Okay, uh, now we are going to the next session, but before that, I would like to inform the schedule of our online class today. So first will be the lecture from Miss Ariel. She will talk about the clinical pharmacies in Taiwan. And the second one will be the lecture from Mr. Paul. He will talk more about the pharmacy industry. And then we will have the discussion or sharing just to be relaxed, to be sharing. You can ask everything. And during the presentation, I would like to inform you all that uh, during the presentation, the participant should mute the microphone, please. Thank you. And in discussion session, if you have any question, you can turn on the microphone and camera, okay? And your question from the student can be in English or can be in Indonesia, it's okay. Or maybe in Chinese also it's okay. They Mr. Paul and Miss Ariel will be convenient if you have the question in Chinese maybe. But it will be okay if you have a question in Indonesia, okay? Okay, students, now we will start the first presentation. I will introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is Miss Ariel, and I would like to introduce her curriculum vitae. Okay, her name is Taiwan Food, or her English name is Ariel. We can call her Ariel. She is a pharmacist. Currently, she works in Ling Weixin Eye Clinic in Taiwan. And I will tell about her curriculum vitae. Her education is in clinical pharmacy in Taipei Medical University. So currently, she already graduated from clinical pharmacy Taipei Medical University. And also, uh, she was in pharmacy or hospital and healthcare management, Tianang University. And uh, her work experience, currently she is a pharmacist in Ling Weixin Eye Clinic, Taiwan. And she was in Ipsen Pharma pharmaceutical company, FDA Pharmaceutical Factory, Taipei Medical University Hospital, Wangfang Hospital in ICU, and Shanghou Hospital in Taiwan, and also in Meikang Living Pharmacy Community Pharmacy. Okay, students. Now we would like to have the first presentation from Miss Ariel. Miss Ariel, time is yours, please. Thank you.
Oh, hi. So, I'm Ariel. Is it on now? Oh, okay. So today I will talk about two topics. First, well, I will introduce the pharmacists in Taiwan. And my second topic will be talking about the challenge we face in COVID-19 outbreak in Taiwan. So first, I would like to talk about how to be a pharmacist in Taiwan. So in Taiwan, you have to have a bachelor degree in pharmacy. Like you have to finish all the all the classes in college, and then it's very important that you have to finish the internship in hospital at least for 4 months. And so after you graduate in pharmacy, you are qualified to have a national exam. And you have to pass the national exam, and then you can get a license of as a pharmacist and be a registered pharmacist in Taiwan. So after you got your license, there are some places pharmacists can practice in, and so there are five places that most graduates will go. So it's on the slide five, the page 5 of the slide. Can people see it? The next page. Yeah, this one. So there are five places. So the first place most graduates will go to be the community pharmacy. And in Taiwan, most of the Taiwanese people who go to the pharmacy, they are relatively healthy people compared to those people who go to hospital or clinic. So those people, they are healthy, and most of them go to pharmacy. They want to buy some nutritional supplements, and some of the people they might have some minor fever or some minor um, like minor cough or just a minor symptom, and then they want to go to pharmacy to buy some OTC products. So I think the pharmacists in the community pharmacy, they have to know very well about the nutritional supplement products, and also they have to know very well about the OTC products, because I think the people in Taiwan, they go to pharmacy, they expect high about the pharmacist. They trust them, and they will buy some product from them. So I think the role of pharmacist in pharmacy in Taiwan, I think the role of them would be probably like the doctors in the hospital, because people trust them. So I think it's very important of them in the pharmacy. So this is the first place that some graduates will go to. And the second place will be hospital. I think there are probably like 70% of graduates, they will go to hospital first, because there is like a system of PGY training in hospital, and they will train you about like like dispensing, and also about how to do the patient care to the inpatient. And then so they are like more organized program in the hospital about the PGY years, and it will last for 2 years. So I think most people, they will go to the hospital to practice in after they graduate. And there are another kind of pharmacist called the clinical pharmacist, and their job is most of their job is to give the inpatients the direct patient care. And I think their job is more like a doctor than they will join the doctor to set up a team. So the team will have some residents and attendings and some interns. Most of them are doctors, and then they will have another people like therapists, like respiratory therapists. So in that team, clinical pharmacists, they have a very important role, because some patients, they might not get the correct medication, because for example, like in ICU or in infection department, the antibiotic use is very, very important. And because doctors, they might know many things, but sometimes they just not that know they might not know that well about antibiotics. So sometimes they might use the wrong kind of antibiotics, like for example, for this patient, and he might got a certain kind of infection of the bacteria, and they if they use the wrong kind of antibiotics which didn't cover that bacteria, then it will be a huge problem for the patient. So clinical pharmacists, they have a very role in this. They have to check and also have to monitor the patients about their condition. Also see if there's something wrong about the medication. And sometimes because all of the medicine they might have some kind of adverse effect. So sometimes if a patient has some symptom, they have to know if the kind of symptom is from the medication or is from the disease itself. So I think clinical pharmacy has very important role in this kind of team. So because when I have my internship, I went to ICU and also in infection department, and I think some of the doctors they will actually listen to the pharmacist recommendation, but I think still few doctors, maybe like attendings, they might not listen to the recommendation from the pharmacist. So I think this probably would be the sad side of this job, I guess, because sometimes your profession didn't get the doctor just sometimes they don't they don't listen to the recommendation. So this is the second part. And so the third place that some of the pharmacists will go to will be the clinic. And also this is where I work in. So this is the third part. And the fourth place would be pharmaceutical factory. And in pharmaceutical factory, pharmacists, the job of them would be to be monitor the manufacturing process and see if the process is right or wrong, because they have to take full charge about the process. So if the product, the pharmaceutical product goes something wrong, they have to take charge and be responsible for that. So the role of them is also very important in the factory. And so the last place pharmacy will go to would be the pharmaceutical company. And when I was an intern, I went to a French pharmaceutical company called Epson. And in the company, pharmacists, they can do many kinds of jobs. They can be a salesman who sells the company's products. But the salesman, they don't have to be a pharmacist to do the job. Sometimes those salesmen will have different backgrounds. Sometimes they might study business in their college, so it doesn't necessarily to be a pharmacist. And another job pharmacists can do in the pharmaceutical company is to be in their medical department. And if they work, I think medical department in the company would be like an anchor for the doctors and the salesman and the company, because when the salesman they go to hospitals to sell those products to the doctors might have some question about their products, and sometimes the salesman they don't know how to answer it correctly, because if they didn't have a pharmacy background, then they might not know that well about the product, because they might not know about the mechanism of the medicine. And so sometimes they have to go back to the medical department. And so people in the department, they can give the correct answer to the doctors. And also people in the department, they have to teach those salesmen how to respond correctly. So their job sometimes will be like a teacher for them. And there are another department called RA department will be registered affair, and they have because in the company, if they want to launch a product in Taiwan, they have to get a license, a product license approved by the TFDA. So people in RA department, they have to apply for the license in Taiwan. So most of the people in the department would have a pharmacy background because they know better about the products and they know how to apply for the license. So it's another very important role in the pharmaceutical company. So these 5 places will be the most pharmacists will go to. And so for me, I work in a clinic and I work in the eye clinic. So in Taiwan, there are many kinds of clinic. There are like eye clinic and there are many ENT clinic, eye, nose, throat clinic. So there are so many ENTs, and there are some clinic for the bones and some dermatology clinics. So there are all kinds of clinic in Taiwan because most Taiwanese people, they will go to clinics first if they have some symptoms. And if the doctors in the clinic cannot fix the problems, then they will go to hospital. So, so my work responsibility in clinic first will be dispensing, obviously. So after dispensing, I also do the patient education because I will tell them how to use those medicine, like because I work in the eye clinic, right? So we will have some ointment, eye ointment, and I think most of the patients, they don't know how to use the eye ointment correctly. So I will teach them how to use it with the right way. And I think this is a very important role of me in the clinic because if the patient didn't use it right, like if they use the wrong frequency or in wrong way, then they might not get the effect that we expect them to get, and there's not the result would not be great. So I think I have an important part in this because when doctors, when they treat the patient, they might not have that much time to explain each medicine to the patients. So my job is tell those patients which kind of medicine is for them and like the purpose of each medicine, and that the patient know very well about what they use and how to use them correctly. And another part of my job is to answer the phone calls because some of the patients, when they get home, they might just forget what I just told them and don't know how to use the product, the medicine. So when they made a phone call to the clinic, and so I have to pick up the phone and tell them how to use those drugs and those medicine and answer some of their questions because sometimes they will have some question about the medicine they take, and also they will ask me about if they take another medicine from another clinic, if they will have some like drug interaction or something like that. So I have to answer that. So these 3 parts will be most of my work responsibility. So this first part will be during my work experience. So next part, I will tell you about the things we face, some challenges facing this coronavirus outbreak. So after the outbreak, I think patients who come to our clinic, the amount of patients gets more and more because most of the patients, they just don't go to hospital anymore. And if they have some symptoms, they will be so afraid and then they will go to clinic first. And since we are the eye clinic, so most of the patients, they don't have some respiratory symptoms, but still some of them will have. And I think it's some kind of psychological stress for us because if the patient cough in front of us and we will be very afraid because we will think that, oh, he might have the coronavirus, and it's very stressful for us because back then they didn't wear masks, and after few weeks, our government is like few months ago already, but before in the beginning of the outbreak, people didn't wear masks to the clinic, but after our government set up a law to ask every single person who go into hospital or clinic have to wear mask. So I think the law is very good for us because then we don't have to be that afraid of the patient, because when they come in, they will have mask. So if they cough or sneeze, it will just, because they already wear masks, so it will just spread out. So I think the law from the government is very good. But still, very few patients, they just don't wear some mask. So for us, we will have some PPE. So it will be like the next slide in the left side, there will be our equipment, because we will have the mask first, and then we have something to protect our eyes, and then something to protect our face. So the left side will be the daily equipment of our work. But because recently, Taiwan, the outbreak in Taiwan, I think it's getting better and better recently, because nowadays we have like 31 consecutive days without a local case. Also, we have a consecutive 6 days for without any case, like 0 case every day recently. So I think it gets better recently in Taiwan now. So right now we don't wear that much protection right now. So right now we just wear one mask, like the picture in the right side. So I think the stress right now is getting better. We won't be that kind of afraid of the patient right now in Taiwan. I think it's getting better and better, because I think our government do a very good job to protect every single one of Taiwanese. So I think it's very great. So I think this is all I can share about my work and how we face about the coronavirus. And so the next part, because earlier I tell you about the 5 places that most pharmacists will go to, and then still some of the people, they will launch their own business, and few of them just become a very successful businessman. So I think that's why the next part, my dear friend Paul will tell you about how he becomes such a successful business. Oh, okay. So do anyone want to ask me some questions, or it would be the last part? Oh, okay. So my part will be finished. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Ariel, for your nice presentation, very nice presentation, because she tell about the role of the pharmacist, especially clinical pharmacists in some clinic in Taiwan, and also how to deal with the coronavirus from the beginning. And now Taiwan is better in to deal with the coronavirus, since the government informed us that around 30 days there is no coronavirus in local transmission in Taiwan. So I think currently Taiwan is getting better from the coronavirus. And the student, please hold your question first to Miss Ariel. You can prepare your question to Miss Ariel, but hold your question, because we will go to the next speaker first. And after the next speaker, we go into the discussion or sharing. And the second presenter, the second speaker will be Mr. Paul. I will introduce about his curriculum vitae. So can you open the PowerPoint, please, about the Mr. Paul PPT? Thank you. So the second speaker will be Mr. Wei Chinfeng. We can call him Mr. Paul. That is his English name. And he's a pharmacist, but besides he's a pharmacist, it's very wonderful that he's a CEO. He's also a founder of Molecule and MD's Clinical. So we are very lucky today to be present by Mr. Paul, CEO and founder of Molecule and MD's Clinical. And as you know, this Molecule skincare product company already listed in 16 countries. And MD's Clinical skincare product company listed in 8 countries. Wow, it's very wonderful because he can expand he can expand his company into another country. And his education, he already graduated from clinical pharmacy, Taipei Medical University, and his work experience, current status is CEO of Molecule and MD's Clinical. And previous titles, he is a sales of Novartis and also chief of Taipei Shuchen Hospital Pharmacy Department. He's also pharmacist of Borden Community Pharmacy and also founder and pharmacist of Innovative Biotechnology, such as he has a lot of experience about the industry, about the pharmacist industry. So students, please take your attention to his presentation and you can try to prepare your question later. And now, time to Mr. Paul. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, I should fly to the Indonesia because of the COVID-19, so I can fly to meet you face to face. I'm sorry, but I will first fly to Jakarta very soon, and I will tell you why in the later. Okay? Okay. Let me show my experience for you. Can you show the PowerPoint 的那个各种职业？对 PPT, yeah.
Please open the PowerPoint.
Yeah, open the PowerPoint and the pharmacy a lot of opportunity other the job.
Which page?
就是那个各种工作那一页的。
第5页吗？
Yeah.
So can you
open the page 5?
Slide page 5.
Slide page 5.
Please open the slide 5. Slide 5.
Yes. Here. Okay. As a pharmacy. As a pharmacy, you have a lot of opportunity to work. You can work in the hospital, and you can working in the clinical, and you can working in drugstore, and you can working for the sales to sales for the sales drug company. And when I graduated from the TNU school, I go to the drug company for sales because I have no idea. I don't know my future, so I be the sales 2 years. I learned a lot of things because I know a lot of the doctor in the hospital. This is very important. In your near future, you need to know a lot of people because those people will help you in your near future. This is my first job. And the second, I go to the hospital, be a pharmacist. So I can learn how can I to check the doctor the medication if correct or not, and I can learn drug interaction and what kind of patient and use what kind of drug in my future. And I stay in the hospital 2 years. And the next 2 years, I go to the drugstore. I created drugstore by myself. I can sell lot of things. It's skincare, supplement, and a lot of the drugstore the equipment. So, and when I one day I think, what is my next job? Drug sales, hospital, drugstore. Next, which is my next job? I printing my drugstore the list, top 3. I check the top 3. Which top 3 is what I need? The top 3 is the maybe the benefit is maybe the profit is good for me. So I check the top 3. Top 3, 1, 2, 3, all skincare products. So I say I need to change the job. So I start looking for the skincare product, and because I have no experience and no idea, I only to looking for product from the USA, and I want to be there the distributor to learn how to sell the skincare product, how can they doctor your customer to buy your product. So I email, and even I fly to United States. I looking for a L'Oreal. Now is L'Oreal already buy. Is the SkinCeuticals. The brand name is SkinCeuticals. So I asked the SkinCeuticals, may I be your distributor in Taiwan? They say okay, because another email, and another only call. I even fly to the United States to face meeting. 1 week, 2 times, twice. So they say, oh my God, I say you are very, very, very nice. So okay, I agree. So I sell the skincare product, so I can learn how to sell and the product, the benefit, how to good for the skin. Okay, after the 2 years, this company already sell L'Oreal buy because the business is very good. So and during these 2 years, we have every year round table meeting with the Hong Kong, China, Singapore, and Korea and Japan. It's easy because we have the marketing before, so we keep the marketing and we have the product. The important, I want to share my good experience for you. In the near future, you have to find the marketing and find the product later. Because to find the product is easy, but find the marketing is most important. Because you satisfy the marketing, you can win what you want. Okay? And I want to let you know the one important thing. Because how can I do to create a lot of country? Very easy. First one, tell the truth. Because international, you cannot only sign by the paper, no use. Because you need the trust, and you say every word, you need to let everybody trust you in the near future, because they will come back again. But just beginning, we only have the 4 countries co-work with me, because they have no idea. But I tell them every word, I will let every word come true. No, they trust me. And I want to let them know, trust me, you can make the money. Trust me, we can co-work together. So I want to share with, very important for everyone. Tell the truth is only the way for you to open and create more and more bigger in your near future. Okay, and when you have the problem, so don't worry. You tell the truth with the other people, and we can face to face to discussion and overcome everything. Everything is very easy. So I want to share everyone. When you can when you graduate from your school, you can try hospital, try drugstore, try the clinical, try sales, try all pharmacy can do. But don't worry, don't hurry. You can stay 1 year or 2 years to check, to thinking if okay for you, because your future is very long. 1 year or 2 year to try and looking and check if your new future, if you need or not. I do skincare about almost 20 years. So, but before I take maybe 6 years to looking for my future. So I think, oh, skincare is my future job because I can let customer become beautiful, and I also can make a profit. So I love to do this work. And then now we have a more countries join us. And then there's a reason why I can do more bigger and bigger. Okay? And I say maybe you are too young. You may be not, but please keep in mind, in the near future, you will know what I say. And only one thing I hope you remember, tell the truth. Because in the future, everybody will check it, what you say is really or not really. Okay? And I think the important, you have any other, oh, by the way, we have the distributor in Jakarta. Actually, I should fly to Indonesia, but because of COVID-19, so we stay at home, cannot fly. But I think maybe on the October or November, I will fly to Jakarta, and I will maybe next time maybe Knowledge can arrangement that we can face to face for a meeting, and I can tell you more about my experience about in the skincare the pharmacy this way. And I have prepared my company 5-star product. We have the 5. So when you ask me a question, I will read for you and FedEx to you. Okay, this is my 5-star product. It's very good. We sell a hundred. This bottle 100 USD, 100 USD. Yeah, it's very expensive, but ask me question. This one free for you. Okay. Okay. I say the Q&A is more important. Yes. Yes. Oh, 并没有。
Okay. Turn on the. Okay, students. There was great information for us to how to become pharmacists that have a credibility in industry of the pharmacist, because Mr. Paul already before he become a CEO, Mr. Paul already try another pharmacist job, like becoming a sales and also working in the hospital. So he know how to deal with the doctor or other people, and also how to make the trust to another people, that you can make a link to the other people. Okay, and then we go to the next session, discussion or sharing. So you all, the students, you can make the question from both of our speakers to Ms. Ariel or Mr. Paul, and your question can be in Indonesia or in English. So please turn on your camera and turn on your microphone if you have any question, please. And also, as Mr. Paul said, that if the student or the participant give the question, he will give the gift for you. Yeah. So he will give this for you, the student. I will bring it to Indonesia, don't worry. I will give it to you, okay? So if you have any question, there is 5 projects. So I will give this to the 5 first question. So please. Okay.
Not only me, it's her the same thing.
Or maybe you can also ask about how to, because he have a company, how to manage his staff or other thing about the industry. I'm sure that he already know about from the beginning until he become a CEO. He have all of those experience. Okay. Okay, students. Do you have any question? Maybe,
Hello, Miss Nilis.
okay. Can you show your face? Can you turn on your camera, please?
Oh, it's my face not in camera?
Okay. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, this
Not
is
yet.
Miss Agustin Rafikayanti, right?
Yes, you're
Okay.
right. But I don't know why my computer do not cannot show my face on camera.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
check that. How are you?
Hi.
Uh,
Hi.
okay.
Okay.
I have questions for Mr. Paul. Okay, I just opened your website in Oleku website, and I'm so impressed for so many products you have. I think all of your products play with antioxidant in for skincare. And in my questions, for your in your experience, is this product developed by yourself, or or you have a coworker or somebody work with you?
Sure. Okay. Oh, actually, one person cannot do everything. I have a team, R&D team, and I'm the leader. I tell them what marketing need, they will make for the marketing.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yes.
Okay. So so in your experience, how long, for how long one product can develop?
Oh,
Okay.
actually, when we created the and the sales and marketing, we needed 1 hour, 2 years. Because when we prepare the sample, we need to try and try and try. But we try first, but maybe not good for the marketing. We will sell some sample for free to marketing for them to check. Later, result is good, so we continue production. If they have a lot of the complaint, we come back and run again, revise and revise. So, every year, this is my R&D have give me the product, new 10 product. No idea, but put into the market for them to try. Because the customer feedback is our revise the power. So we need just before I say where is marketing? Looking for the marketing first, and then you're looking for product. So we need the marketing to try if the good for the marketing, and then we come back to do marketing request. You have good question because we need 1 hour, 2 year. We can finish it from creative to finish it to launch it in the marketing. Yeah. Congratulations, you get a one product. One bottle. Yeah.
Okay. And one questions.
Yes, please.
It's okay. Okay.
Sure.
So in your product also you have like tests in animals, or
No, we don't do any
directly.
animal testing. No.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Miss Chika. You get one product from Paul. Yay! And I
Okay.
another other question from the student?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Nilis. I would like to ask him because the student don't want to speak up maybe, so we have to like give some explanation how to sharing with another pharmacist in another country. So this is very interesting topic. Okay, hi Paul, hi Aurel. My name is Sandy.
Hey,
Actually, I also graduated from TNU last year, and I already come back to Indonesia. And this is very interesting. Maybe I would like to asking about the general about the pharmacy education in Taiwan, because as you said before that you already graduated from clinical pharmacy, but you also can get some job or try to find your patient in pharmacy. Even not only in a hospital, you can also try to find job in a factory, in a drug factory, in a pharmaceutical industry, and another. So, do you think uh, are there any challenge, any change to from another country? I mean, from pharmacists outside, graduated from the outside of Taiwan to be a pharmacist there. I mean, if in Indonesia we have like convention to get some license to get license before we can practice or we can get our job in this country. So maybe in Taiwan are the same regulation as in Indonesia, or Taiwan has another regulation about the rule to practice in pharmacy. Do you
你
get
回答
what I
好，
mean?
他一直说他可以来台湾工作是，好，你回答。
Can you get
Hello.
Yeah, she will. She can reply.
So about the question in Taiwan, if you want to have a license, you have to graduate in pharmacy in a bachelor degree. And so if a foreigner wants to come to Taiwan and be a registered pharmacist, they have to study the university in pharmacy in Taiwan. After the graduate, you can have the national examination, and then you can become a pharmacist. And previously, I said that there are 5 places pharmacists can go to, and like clinic and hospital, they have to get a license to do the job. But if you want to go to the pharmaceutical industry, like the factory or the company, then if you don't have a license, you still can go to those places. So I think it depends on what kind of job you want to do. If you want to go to the hospital or clinic, you must have a license. And to have a license, you have to graduate from pharmacy school in university. So I think it's probably like in Indonesia, because earlier you said that you have to have a license to do that, right? So I think it's the same. And also in community pharmacy, you have to have a license to be a pharmacist in the pharmacy. So so I think most of the place you still have to have a license to do the job. Is it for your question?
Yeah. Maybe one more question. So if there is a foreigner and he or she is a pharmacist and would like to practice in Taiwan, so they also have to come to the college, or they can like just pass through and then they can maybe uh, just give their CV to get the job in Taiwan, or have any other like treatment to make it have a same, or is maybe Taiwan have a standard to do a pharmaceutical care or something like that?
I think in Taiwan, if a foreigner wants to come to Taiwan become a pharmacist, I think we in our government they have some of the school if they are qualified in the list.
Mhm.
I remember there are a list because like some people if I remember some people from United States if they graduate from the pharmacy school in the
Mhm.
United States if if they are qualified school then if they come to Taiwan they only have to finish the internship training for 4 months then they can have
Okay.
in the Taiwanese national exam. If they pass the exam, they can be a pharmacist. They can get a license. But if those pharmacists foreigner, they if they their school the education is not in the list, then they have to start all over again to start from the freshman and finish the 4 year, 5 year of the education in Taiwan. So I think it depends on the person, the education of the person, and there are a list that our government would qualify. And also, if you are a pharmacist in foreign country, I think if you don't have a license in Taiwan, but you still can go to some pharmaceutical industry, like some pharmaceutical company, I think they would like to have those kind of patient about those kind of people
Mhm.
um, because you are a pharmacist in the foreign country, then you might be an anchor for the company and
Mhm.
the country you live in. So I think it will be a strength for you, I guess, because those companies would probably like to have someone like
Okay.
this one, I guess, because
Okay.
what they do, they don't have to. It's not necessary to have a license to work in the company. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Aura. Uh, the student of UMM, I think they still have chance to be a pharmacy in Taiwan, right? Especially in industry. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
sure. Okay, thank you, Miss Sandy, for your question. So, for your information for Mr. Paul and Mrs. Ariel, those two those two people who shared the question before, uh, two of those are the student in Taipei Medical University, but already graduate. They take the master degree and already come back to Indonesia. Okay, I already.
You also have one bottle free.
Oh yeah, Mr. Paul said that Miss Sandy also get this gift free. Okay,
Okay. Thank
congratulations.
you. So.
Well, for the next question, I already saw the question from Design Sakti. This is for the student. Oh, her name is Erin. So,
I saw the echo.
oh yeah, her name is Erin. Erin has the question.
Okay.
So she said that she's so interested because it talks about the combination between business and pharmaceutical industry, right? So they are curious with your experience about your sales experience in Novartis. Did you learn about the marketing and business development uh, through the Novartis, or you already practice how to sell something before by yourself? That is her question. Okay. So
Right? Like a moment. Okay. Wow. From because my sales for the seller drop in the market, this is one of the source when we know the marketing. Because in the before, I don't have no I have no idea my future, what kind will be my pharmacy job. I tried in the hospital to sell the drug to the doctor to the hospital. This is just the only one option. But I only keep it in my mind. I keep one. But we have a good relationship with the doctor. Maybe in the near future we can co-work. This is one. But my second job, I go to the hospital, be a pharmacy. So I have another source to 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 know other people, but it's different. When you be a sales to sell the drug, you know your friend will be doctor, your customer will be doctor. But when you work in the hospital, you be a pharmacist, your friend will be pharmacist, is the same, and you know the customer. It's the different friend. And the second, I go to the drugstore. My customer is a lot of the consumer. So different work in different place, you will know the different people. So that's the reason why I want to try every word to know everyone. And I will search which marketing is good for me, which marketing I can do. But I try the sales, and I try the hospital, and I try the drugstore. Finally, I know I need to be a I have because I have a sales experience, so I can sell the product. Okay, and but as you know, in the sales for the sales in the drug companies for sales, you cannot get a lot of the money which you want. So I say I need to create it by myself, and so I made a final decision. I want to do skincare product with my other country the partner. Yes, you are right. Because when the sales before, I can learn how to make a friend with the doctor. And then in the hospital, I will try to make a friend with my pharmacy and the other customer. And then in the drugstore, I want to make a friend with my consumer and the customer. You are right, because find the marketing is not easy. But when you find the marketing, will be your future. When I find the marketing and the skincare product is my future. So I 100% focus on to how to create the formula, how to make the good product, and for me and my partner to sell to all the world before the marketing. Yes, you are right. Every step is very important. You because I before the two year in uh, drug company, 2 year in the hospital, 2 year in drugstore. That's very important for me. So I can consider which one is I like, which one is I need. So I know how to find the marketing and to find the product and until to now. Okay, is you want the question? You want the answer?
Okay, I think, yeah, learning about marketing is very special and interesting, I think, in this kind of pharmaceutical industry. I hope the Mr. Paul already answered your question, but if you want to uh, have more question for Arin, right? The student have who give the question, you can uh, give more question if you still want to make another question. Okay, next, I would like to read the question from another student. This is come from Putri Penny. Uh, so Putri Penny is asked to Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Putri. I have questions for Mr. Paul. For your skincare products, are they already distributed in the clinic in the beauty clinic or sold in the shop? That is the first question.
Okay.
And then the second question, how did you apply for the production and distribution permission? Maybe around the Food Drug Administration or another rule to have a permission that you can sell your product. Can you get the question? Maybe you can answer the first question first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Actually, because our product is, because I'm a pharmacist, I am. Okay, sorry. Okay, because I'm pharmacist, I ask my R&D to production the product have to very useful and not only like other brand is no use. So our product is very useful. So our product we have to sell to the doctor, our pharmacy, and we have a mainly well education to know how to use our product and they can sell the product to the customer. So we not direct sell to on the shop our other place. We only sell the doctor and the professional person to sell our product because our product is very useful. And because it's very useful the same is very dangerous. You need to use this our product very careful and so you will have a good result. So we only sell for professional person and the professional person like the doctor and our pharmacist and the
Okay. Okay. Hope the first question already answered. And then the second question is about the permission regulation about your product. Did your product already get the permission, like how to get the permission to sell your product from maybe from Food Drug Administration, FDA, right? Or distribution cycle, maybe. Yeah, I think that is her question. Okay.
Okay, because the different distributor country have different law, so we need to apply the license, input license, and we can sell product later. Like but like Hong Kong, they just only saying the skincare product, no problem. They without apply license, but and Taiwan also without. But in Indonesia and Malaysia and Singapore, we need to apply license first. How to apply that? Because we need to prepare. We need to prepare the sample for FDA to check is safe and how and the benefit and if working for people and we can get a license. Like Indonesia, our distributor already applied the license from the Indonesia FDA, and the Indonesia FDA like need six months, so it's very long. So if our product into every country have a different country have a different rule, so we need to apply license and the product can input into the different country. Taiwan and Hong Kong without, but Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia and Vietnam need to apply license, and we need to prepare the product and the formulation for the local FDA to check. After they approve, and we can sell into the their country marketing. Yes.
Okay, that is the answer from Mr. Paul. I hope it can give the answer for you, the Miss Erin or another people. Okay, next we go to the next question. I would like to read the question for Mrs. Ariel first. Hello, Mrs. Ariel. My name is Tika. I have a question about how the antibiotic regulation in Taiwan. So time is given to Mrs. Erin. Thank you.
Okay, so in Taiwan, I think each hospital has their own regulation. Like the hospital I have my internship in, and they have some because some of the antibiotics, for example, like because I right now I just I cannot think of the name of the antibiotics, but there are some like first line antibiotic and second lines and some third lines, and so in some of the hospital when doctors want to prescribe a antibiotics, if the antibiotics is like the third line, then they cannot just prescribe. They have to consult the infection departments, the doctor in the infection department. They have to approve. They have to approve for the um, they have to approve first because if if the condition of the patient doesn't meet this kind of third line antibiotic, then they cannot use because if we use the third line antibiotic to the patient who just need the first line antibiotics, then they will have some problem because then when they get worse, then they don't have the kind of antibiotic to use. So um, I think each hospital they have their own regulations, so there is no some sort of regulation from the government. It is not the same in each hospital, but I think most of the hospital have some certain of regulatory because um, doctors they cannot just prescribe anything they want to just prescribe. They have to consult a doctors from the infection department first, and after they approve, then they can use the the third line or second line antibiotic. I'm not sure if this is what you want to ask.
Yeah, I think uh, I think Tika want to ask about that. Yeah, your answer is I think is correct. Like the Tika question, and maybe you can also give some information about the can we buy the antibiotic by ourselves in Taiwan, or it should be prescribed by the doctor?
Oh yeah, in Taiwan, we cannot just buy antibiotics. Okay, so in Taiwan, we cannot just buy antibiotic without prescription. We have to have the prescription with the sign of the doctors. And mm, I think normally we have to go to clinic to visit a doctor. And when doctor treat you and think you really need an antibiotics, then you can get the medicine. So um, I think most of people they um, unless they have some family is a doctor, then they can write down the writing prescription for them to go to the pharmacist to buy one. So I think most of people get the antibiotics from the hospital or the clinic. Just very few of them get it from the pharmacy. So I think yeah, this is kind of another way to regulate the antibiotic use in Taiwan. But I think I think in Taiwan still have some misuse of antibiotic in Taiwan because I think few doctors they because they want to some doctor in clinic they want to that the patient get well in very soon in very short time, so they will have some second line or third line antibiotic use the patients who visits clinic. So because they use very strong antibiotics, so they can get well in just 3 days or 4 days, get well just like miraculously. So I think this is some dark sides of the clinic in Taiwan, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ariel, from your answer. Maybe I can add some information. In Taiwan, as Mrs. Ariel said, that I think it's almost the same in Indonesia. We cannot buy antibiotic without the doctor prescription. That is the first thing. And then the other experience that I did about the health regulation in Taiwan, I heard from another my friend that she already get sick and go to the doctor and she get a fever. At that time, she thinks maybe the doctor will prescribe the antibiotic because he also the doctor in Indonesia, so he thinks that maybe the doctor in Taiwan will prescribe the antibiotic for him, but the doctor didn't give the antibiotic. Even he get the fever, so the doctor want to see first and maybe like give the observation. So it's very hard to give the antibiotic in Taiwan. I think that's the information that I can give another. Okay, and the next question is going to Mr. Paul.
Hi.
And hello, Mr. Paul. My name is Fitri. If you don't mind, would you share what is your first step to build your own company? And how is your company to survive between the big competition? Because we know nowadays there are so many cosmetic industry in the world. So how your company survive with this issue? Okay. So there is two kind of question.
Yes.
First is how you grow up your company from the beginning to become the bigger company.
Okay.
Maybe that is the first question.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Thank you for your question. And then let me show you my very easy experience. And I before just like I told I report everyone before, tell the truth, because I tell you before I am a distributor only in Taiwan, but we have a roundtable meeting per year in Hong Kong. So I know the Hong Kong, China, Singapore, Korea, and the Japan distributor. So we know each other, and they know I tell everyone is the truth. So when our brand company in United States, they sell to France, sell to L'Oreal. So we lost the job. Everyone lost the job. They trust me because before I say every word will come true. I never tell a lie. So they tell me, Paul, we trust you. You are a pharmacist. You do formulation. We continue to promote, to sell your formula in their country because they trust me. Just like before, I said every word I promise. If I promise every word, I will do. So they trust me. That's my first step because they trust me. So we co-work together. Our new brand, at the first beginning, we have the 4 countries together. So because we find them, they have their own marketing, and I also have marketing, but we're looking for the product. When we have the trust, and everybody trusts me, so very easy. We have the 4 companies to get beginning sales into the marketing. So this is the first step. We can succeed. Is very very nice. And your second question. Second question. Oh, okay. how can I find with other company and the brand? Very easy. Because I request my partner as my brother, and we discussing everything, no any lie, tell the truth. When we have the problem, we discussion, we meeting, we tell everything, and we know our problem, and we face the problem together, and we use our before the relationship. Because before we distributed the product is very well in every country, so they trust me, and and the one thing I let you know, I share my own my company. So our molecule we have the four owners. Taiwan is me, and Hong Kong, and Korea, and China, because everyone take a list of the business for his own business, and everybody will do their best to promote, to sell every product. This is the reason why I want to share my experience for you. One people only can do one work, but a lot of people can work together. It's very different. You can overcome a lot of questions, and they will do their best to overcome everything. Because I know only me, impossible succeed very soon. We need a lot of people come work together. So I am not 100%. I share for my partner. We work together. We found the zero. So we know we have no choice. We need to only work hard to fighting. So I share this brand, this company for company. So they will do their best, and so we overcome everything until now. Hopefully, hopefully you like my answer. But it's true. It's true.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paul. So I think from his explanation, teamwork is important, right? So the company will not only from one people, not only come from one people, but it's like a teamwork. There is a leader, and also another people should doing the best in each of his or her job. So I think that is the Mr. Paul said. And we are going to the next question. This question is come from the University of from the no name. Oh, from Mrs. Firasti. So this is for Mrs. Ariel. This question is for Mrs. Ariel. The question is there any specialization in clinical pharmacy, such as clinical pharmacists who have responsibilities just for the heart, or maybe for pediatric or geriatric, or clinical pharmacists in ICU, or some other specialization? Is there any specialization regarding to the clinical pharmacies in Taiwan? Yeah. You can get my question? Okay.
Yeah, so in Taiwan, clinical pharmacists, they have to know all of the specialty. I think this is the first, but after that they will have focus on one department. And I think in Taiwan most of them will focus on ICU and infection department, and also in hematology oncology. Because in these three departments, it will need clinical pharmacy more than other departments, because in infection department and ICU, they have to know very well about antibiotics, and I think clinical pharmacy, they know the best about the antibiotics other than doctors or other specialties. So these two departments require very much of the clinical pharmacist and for their specialty. And then it will be like oncology, hematologist, because in this department, patient, the medication, the chemotherapy they use is very important. So in clinical pharmacists, they have to monitor the patient's situations. And also another major part of the job is to give those palliative care patients, like hospice patients, they have to monitor their palliative care, like they have to monitor if the morphine use is good enough for the patient to let them feel well. So in these three departments, they will require clinical pharmacists. But I think in other departments would be less required, I guess, because like you said, pediatrics, I seldom see clinical pharmacists in these kind of departments. So I think right now, the development of the clinical pharmacist in Taiwan is not that well than it was like in the United States or some countries. But I think it's getting better and better now because like back in like decades ago, there is no clinical pharmacist in Taiwan. So right now it's much way better than it was than like 10 or 20 years ago before. So I think it will getting better and better. So maybe in a few years after they will have more specialties like pediatrics or like dermatology, like something like that in those departments. But right now it's not that developed yet.
So basically, the clinical pharmacist should have knowledge and about all of the knowledge about the clinical pharmacist. So not only one specialization, but when they work in some area, so they will become automatically they will be like the specialization in those area. Okay, I hope that can answer your question, Mrs. Curiosity. And the next question is come from Mrs. Agnia. This question is to Mrs. Ariel. In Taiwan, is the clinical pharmacist only practice in the hospital, or they can also practice in community pharmacies, or maybe both of them, or just one or other? Okay, time is yours.
Okay, so because when a pharmacist they got a license, they will be called as a pharmacist. But the clinical pharmacist, this kind of title we will only give to the people who are work in hospital, because clinical pharmacists they do some more specific like direct patient care for the inpatients in hospital. So they only work in the hospital. So if you want to work in the community pharmacy, then you will be have a title as a pharmacist. You won't be called like clinical pharmacist, because the thing you do is just you don't give the direct patient care for the inpatient, because there are no inpatients in pharmacy. So I think it's just the titles of the name of the title, I guess. So pharmacists, they can work everywhere, like in hospital, clinic, and pharmacy, clinical community pharmacies. And only the pharmacists who work in the hospital and do the direct patient care, we will call them clinical pharmacists. I think it's just the title of the job for them. Yeah.
Okay, so the pharmacists can also clinical pharmacists. The title of those clinical pharmacists, they can work both in. I mean, they can work in hospital, but not only in hospital. If they choose work in the community pharmacy, so they can work in the community pharmacy. And then I already get the next question. This is from Mrs. Ms. Hidayah Rahmawati. So this comes from our senior lecturer in University of Muhammadiyah Malang. Her question is, this is about the coronavirus. Maybe both of you, Mr. Paul or Mrs. Ariel, can answer the question. Is there any lockdown in Taiwan regarding to the coronavirus? Because now in Indonesia, the increasing cases of the coronavirus, some of the area in Indonesia, they like they doing like the small lockdown. Maybe I can say small lockdown. So how about in Taiwan during the coronavirus? Okay, time is yours. Both of you can answer the question.
So right now, I think because I think our government do it a very great job to this whole situation because I think in Taiwan we don't have lockdown. I think um, we only lock our the border line of Taiwan, like we don't, like foreigner cannot come into Taiwan as just like visit Taiwan. They cannot visit Taiwan, but if some foreigner have some business job to do, they still can come into Taiwan, but people cannot just have fun and go to Taiwan. We only lock the borderline of Taiwan, but in Taiwan for Taiwanese people, we didn't have lockdown, so like people still go to school, a student go to school every day. We don't stop the school, and people can still go to any place if they like. They just some place we have to wear mask to get in. Like we must wear mask to take the transportation, like MRT or a bus. And in like in school, people only student can go into the school, so like other person they cannot get into the school. So I think we don't have lockdown, but we still have some a little bit um, regulatory for some specific kind of place. But typically we don't have lockdown. So I think it's a wonderful job we do that the government do in Taiwan because we have we our government do a lot of things in the beginning of this outbreak. So I think it's like few months earlier than other countries do. So I think because we do a lot of things in the beginning and it's in a very early of time, so we can prevent the spread of this virus. So in Taiwan, the local condition I think it controlling very well. So it pretends us to get worse and also pretend us to have to face the lockdown. I think it's good in Taiwan for the situation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ariel. And this is the last question because there is three more questions, and I think those three more questions is almost related or almost the same question. So I will summarize those three questions to one question. One is for Paul, Mr. Paul, and one is for Mrs. Ariel. How during this pandemic of coronavirus, how the pharmacists deal with this situation in as a clinical pharmacist and also as a pharmacist who work in industry, especially for like Mr. Paul who work as a CEO. So you have so many staff that during this coronavirus, how to deal with this situation. So this last question. Both of you can explain in hospital and also in industry. Thank you. Time is yours.
你先。
Okay, so because my answer will be easier, so let me first. So in Taiwan, in hospital, because a friend of mine who just work in hospital as a clinical pharmacist, and she really got a patient with the coronavirus. So what they do is to monitor the patient's situation and see if they is there something they can do, like see their natrium like input output is the condition is okay for the patient, and do some adjustment in their medication. So basically they just have to monitor the patient with coronavirus and see the medication is right or not. And in the other part, people like pharmacists who work in the community pharmacist, who work in community pharmacy, they just sells the mask to the people in Taiwan. So because we have to the mask in Taiwan, we cannot just buy whatever we want. We have to register for we have to use our insurance ID card, medical insurance ID card to buy a mask to know to register it. And so the pharmacists in the pharmacy they do this kind of job because it's very important to have someone to sell masks. So it's a lot of workload for pharmacists in the pharmacy, but still it is a very important job for them, because if they don't sell masks, and then people don't have masks. So I think in Taiwan we can stop the virus to spread. It's a very key point because we have the mask. Everyone have a mask. So due to this, we can stop the spread of the virus. So I think it's very important. The role of the pharmacist in community pharmacy is very important. Yeah. So just these two important jobs, like hospitals pharmacists and community pharmacists. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Because this virus infection, I asked my staff not allow go to the hospital anymore because the safe is first. But online sales is very, very well. Because people not go to outside, they are nothing to do, only from the website for the shopping. Actually, my business is getting very, very well, almost double before the last week. So sometimes because you know everybody have the mask, you see, I also have acne, so not people need to become beautiful because of the mask, and so I know virus infection will end very soon, but beauty skincare is all people we need. So this virus infection actually is good for our business because everybody stay home and looking for product and buy product. Buy very sometimes because no to buy other thing, cannot go outside for play or for other, so they will shopping maybe double or triple from the buy the something. Maybe you are too young, you don't know the SARS. SARS is 10 year, maybe 10 years ago, and created China a very big online shopping. We call Taobao and our Alibaba is very, very strong and a very big online shopping. And this virus infection, I also check China Taobao. Their online shopping the business is more bigger, more very, very more bigger like before. So after this virus infection will change every lot of people the business style. Online for business and at home we also can co-work with the customer and co-work with our business. So we have if you want to become a successful business, so you not open the people need people to contact with your customer. You also need to create it online because online is very, very normal in all the world. and you can online can do anything, everything. Because Taiwan government is good, not like area say, not shut down. So we still can go to the office, we still can go to the school, but some hospital is still dangerous. I not allow my staff to go to the hospital, and at the home we also can do the business, online business for the shopping, for the everything. So in the near future, we don't have the virus infection when we come again. So online business, I think is near future is very important. So please keep it in mind. You can consider not only people to do business, online business also very important. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paul and Ms. Ariel, for your answer. I hope all of these answer can really answer your question, all of your question. But maybe if you have another question, you can try to give the question, maybe not by online, because we should uh, finish our discussion today, maybe around next 5 minutes later. So I will give the conclusion of the online class today. Since our topic is about pharmacist practice opportunities in Taiwan and its challenge amid global pandemic, it's very wonderful explanation that Mr. Paul and Mrs. Ariel give to us today. So how the pharmacists have a big role in this pandemic, and also how the pharmacists have responsibilities in the clinical pharmacies and also in the industry of pharmacies to become a leader, like become a CEO like Mr. Paul. And also, I think from this online class today, I point out some of the important, that teamwork is important, right? Wherever you are in the clinical pharmacies or in the industrial pharmacies, teamwork is important. So we should make link to the other people. It's very important. And also regarding the global epidemic of the coronavirus in Taiwan, I think because of Taiwan learned from before pandemic in 2003, Taiwan have a SARS pandemic. So they learned a lot from the SARS. So the people already have the nice or have a good discipline in everywhere. They're wearing masks. Even there is no cases in Taiwan about the coronavirus, but every people still wearing masks everywhere. So that is very impressive looking for Taiwan in Taiwan. So that we have like a motto, Taiwan can help to the other country. We all of us hope that Indonesia can deal with the coronavirus. And before I finish our online meeting today, maybe I will share a little bit, 2 minutes about my experience to become a student in Taiwan. Mungkin dalam bahasa Indonesia, jadi supaya yang yang kangen, saya juga kangen ngomong ini ya, ngomong bahasa Indonesia. Jadi adik-adik mudah-mudahan dari kuliah online hari ini, adik-adik bisa terus semangat dan termotivasi untuk melanjutkan studinya kemanapun itu. Dan karena saya jadi ingat ya, di agama kita pun juga menyuruh untuk menuntut ilmu dimanapun kita berada. Jadi air itu kalau misalnya diam, dia akan berbau. Tetapi kalau mengalir, air itu akan tidak berbau. Dan juga busur panah jika tidak dilesatkan, maka dia tidak akan menempel kepada sasarannya. Sehingga harapan saya adik-adik bisa termotivasi untuk terus belajar dan mengembangkan ilmunya. Okay, I think that's all. And if I would like to say thank you to all of the participants, to the University of Muhammadiyah Malang, to the speakers, to the teachers, to the students who already made this online class is successful. So that's all from me. I would say apologize if there is some statement not good in during our online class. Okay, students, I hope to see you all in Indonesia to give you this gift. Just wait for me come back to Indonesia after lockdown, after coronavirus is finished, right? Just waiting for me. Okay. Thank you. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
谢谢你们。
谢谢。
Thank you, Paul and Ariel.
Terima kasih Bunda. Thank you Paul and Ariel. Xie.
Thank you will be our pleasure.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih is in Indonesia.